Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Dane from NYYU. We'd like to welcome you to the Yankees Farm IFA report. We have special guests with us, Nick Simmons. Nick, how you doing, bud?
Hey man, what's going on, Dean?
Nothing. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for asking.
Los?
Good, man. I'm good. Ready to do this. Excited.
Let's talk about some IFAs, boys.
I'm excited, man. We're gonna do something that usually doesn't come out to the end of the year, but we're gonna hit a top 10 list overall for the class of 2025, and then we'll jump into the 9 kids that the Yankees are linked to right now.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna start out with my list, man. My number one kid in the class is gonna be Elian Pena. He's a shortstop going to the New York Mets. Um, an elite player, has been at the top of this class for the last 3, 4 years, has stayed up there. I think on depending on what list you look at, he could be switched off, man, with the next kid who's gonna go two in my list. But depending on where you put him, he could be one or two. The second kid I got is Josue Gonzalez. He's going to the Giants, another shortstop kid. Ben Badler just put something out on him yesterday. But he's the kid that's going to go number two. Depending on who you ask, he could be number one as well. I'm a big fan of his as well. For number three, we'll take a minute and talk about this kid here because it's going to be a Yankees kid. We're going to go with Ruben Castillo, number three prospect in the entire class. So he plays three different positions. So he's
Right.
a pitcher,
Mm-hmm.
he's a shortstop, he's a center fielder. The Yankees are going to play him at center field. So I've been told as a pitcher, he's an average pitcher, he's an above average shortstop, but he's an elite center fielder. So they see him as a center fielder going
Well, hold on.
forward.
I don't want to cut you off, but I want to tell these people one crazy thing about this kid.
Yeah.
As a pitcher and as a shortstop, He's right-handed, but as a center fielder, he's lefty.
Correct. That
That's
is correct.
impressive.
And his swing is so beautiful, man. He's got
It
one of the
is.
Is.
prettiest swings that
It
you'll ever
is.
see. And it's
It is.
funny
I saw
because
I saw I saw a clip of him swinging left-handed, and that was the first thing I said. I was like, "Oh my God, it's a pretty swing."
Yeah, it is. He
yeah,
looked. Go ahead.
no, he's excited, man. He's an exciting kid. I was telling when I was talking to some people, man, the thing about the Yankees to get excited for with IFAs, man, is they literally have a top five kid going forward in the next four classes, right? So and three of those classes you could argue they have either one or two. Two of those classes 100% number one, and then one of those classes, depending on where they grow at that
The number
point,
one or number two prospect
correct
in the
in the
class.
entire class, correct. Which
Mm-hmm.
is exciting, man, where it's going. I think that they've scouted unbelievably. And the kid that one of the kids that we have, competed in Dominican Summer League, Dominican U15 under 15. So Wandy Asijan, we've talked about him on here before.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's a kid that's number one in his class. He's still linked to the Yankees. I know you guys get questions on it all the time, man. I'll address it
Mm-hmm.
again, man. He is still linked to the New York Yankees. He's as elite as they come. He was probably the second best player on that team, U15, to a kid named Alfredo Senna, who's 2027 kid going
One
to
of
the
the Braves,
Braves.
no? Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And it's exciting, man. I have Senna as the number two ranked overall kid in IFA period going forward, behind a Yankees kid, but we're not going to talk about him today. So, um,
Okay.
all right. So another kid, man, that we're going to touch up is a kid to the Braves. His name is Wilber Cruz. He's a center fielder with a loud left-handed bat. I feel like the Braves are underrated, man. They get some of these kids in there that they go for, and they just kind of use their whole bonus pool on them, like Jose Perdomo. So Wilber Cruz is going to be a kid there. This is a Dane favorite, so I know Dane saw this kid on Twitter, and his name is Yorger Baustista. He's the kid
Big
going to the
kid, right?
Seattle Mariners,
Mm-hmm.
big giant kid,
Mm-hmm.
Venezuelan kid, has a monster bat. There's swing and miss there. Um, but I think if they can iron it out, man, the Mariners just kind of, I feel like, find that player and that shift, and they're able to, really grow those kids on internationally.
They
And
do
then
well in that.
rounding out the bottom portion of it. I'm not going to go through anything crazy. Just going to try to touch these up. Is Cris Rodriguez, to the Tigers. We
Okay.
got Andrew Salas, who's the
What
brother
position
of
is
Ethan Salas.
what position?
Cris
Chris.
Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He's a mix between shortstop and outfield, so he plays in both.
Okay.
So more outfield though.
Hmm.
Andrew Salas, who's a shortstop. He's a brother of Ethan Salas
Hmm.
as well. You have
Where's Salas
Jostin.
going?
Salas is going to the Mariners. No, Marlins. So he's going to the
Marlins.
Marlins.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, he's going to the Marlins. Then we have Jostin Genoa. Uh, I said the name. How you say his
And
last name
now,
again? Hanau.
and now,
Jostin Hanau, who's going to the Texas Rangers. Um, Big kid there. Then we have Santiago
outfielder.
Sant. He plays outfield and shortstop as well. So it's
Okay.
I've seen him play both positions. Kind of a lot of mix of those kids in this one.
Hmm.
Then we have a kid named Santiago Leon going to Minnesota Twins as well. And then we'll round it out, man, and go with your favorite guy's last name. I'll go Gabriel, and I'll let you finish off his name for me.
Davalollo.
Yeah, so him as well, and he's going to the Angels, and he's a shortstop. So,
And what position does Leon play?
Leon is a catcher.
Okay.
Thanks for not asking me how to say that.
Yeah, it's a rough one, man. That's a rough one there. But it's an exciting class, man. At the end of the day, I think that, the top 10 is pretty elite. You have a couple dudes up there with Pena, Gonzalez, Castillo, that are really gonna make that class pop. And I'm excited, man, especially for the Yankees to close on a top three kid again. It's exciting times for us to get, especially outfield depth, man. I feel like, we have a lot of outfielders now at the major league level, plus other guys growing into that. But you can never have enough elite level players, especially left-handed bats, man.
Mm.
Very
Yeah, I
true.
think and I think that's one thing that the Yankees are lacking at the lower level, especially now that they traded John Cruz is that left-handed outfielder. I can't think of anybody else right now. I mean, you have
There's
Willie
not.
Montero. Willie Montero's right-handed bat. Francisco Vilorio is a right-handed bat. I guess Gabriel Lara is a left-handed bat. Who else? Who else? Is Fidel Montero left-handed?
No,
I
he's
can't remember if
right.
he is.
Spencer Jones would be your only guy, I feel like,
Yeah, but
in there.
he's in the upper levels.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anybody else that's close to that, like a left-handed. I mean, he's gonna be your guy going forward, man. He's as
Mhm.
elite as they come. So, I mean, it's an exciting class there for him to start.
All right.
Now
So
you
who are the
have
Yankees linked to in the 2025 class?
Yeah. So we'll start. Obviously, Ruben Castillo is the number one kid.
Hmm.
Um, we talked about him before, but Steven Romans is still going to that class, man. He's a shortstop, left-handed bat, nice left-handed bat. He's still going there. We have
Hmm.
Manny Cedeno, who's going to the New York Yankees as well.
Oh, that's
Um,
Manny
position.
Cedeno, right?
he's a
Shortstop.
shortstop. Yeah, Manny. He's going there as well. We have a right-handed pitcher named Braylon Cordero, who's about 6'3", is hitting already 93 on a fastball. He throws a sweeper, slider, changeup. He's another kid, man, that to be excited about. Yankees picked him up, man. He looks elite as a pitcher that has
Let me ask you a real
potential.
question. Let me ask you a real question on Braylon. Is Braylon a six-figure signing? Do you think?
I'm not positive. I'm be
Okay.
honest with you. He's not. I'll tell you, he's not the top pitcher in the class. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you just pause right there real quick. I mean, is because I saw something today that kind of made sense to me where they said that the Yankees don't really sign high price IFAs because they feel like a lot of these arms might be abused, especially if, 13, 14-year-old throwing 90 miles an hour. There's going to be a lot of wear and tear by the time they turn 16, 17. Especially if you saw
Yeah,
that report from Dr. Andrew. I think we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Um, he said the 16-year-old arm is just not built to be throwing 90 miles an hour. Or it was it 85?
It was 80.
No, it was
It was
80.
80 miles an hour, and that your tensile strength and your UCL does not fully develop until you're 26.
So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with the Yankees not signing, big time IFA arms. But then I was thinking, well, Lalane was a pretty big signing for them. It was six figures. Um,
they have a six-figure kid in this class. I'll touch him up in a
pitcher.
minute, but yeah,
Okay.
pitcher, yeah. But there's
Okay.
not. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. So you'll see teams sign kids that are 11, 12, 13 years old, very young, and will not sign them, but be linked to them, and then
Right.
have a
Right.
deal going forward.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, man, usually they're not pitchers because the pitchers grow later and you start seeing kids come up later on and they don't want to get into a deal with a kid that who, like you said, blows out his arm and then can never get it back up again. So a
Mhm.
lot of those kids, you don't see the deals until they're in that like basically
Mhm.
last year of
Well,
going into that class.
piggybacking off of what you said and knowing my people, you don't, most of them don't set out to be pitchers.
Right.
They become pitchers because they can't hit or
Right.
something doesn't pan out for them. I mean, look at Randy Vasquez. Randy Vasquez, I believe, was a catcher before he converted to a
Mhm.
pitcher. So it's most of them, even though Pedro Martinez is huge in the Dominican community, they most Dominican young players don't set out to be pitchers. They want to be shortstops. That's the crown position.
Absolutely. I don't disagree, man. Shortstop and center field, man, too, is huge.
Mhm.
Everybody's a center fielder, shortstop, or catcher. So
Mhm.
um, but
So
the
after
next kid
Braylon, who do we got?
next kid I got is a shortstop named Emil Martinez. He's a slick fielding shortstop. Right-handed bat. Um, he's a solid signing. I think he's gonna probably be around that 100K. Kind of reminds me of like your Emmanuel Tejada kind of kid. The
Mm.
bat is good, slick hands. Just
Hmm.
that kind of player.
What kind of
Um,
size?
I don't have size on him right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Um,
Sorry.
no, no, not an issue. But he looks up to Fernando Tatis, if that helps out, man. That's his player that he wants to be like. That's a big calling. Not everybody's gonna be those, but he's up
Something to
there as
aspire
well
to.
there. Yeah, Yankees picked up another kid, man. He's a right-handed pitcher as well. His name is Jose Vargas. He's a little bit I think he's 18 now. He's hitting high 80s, touching 91, shows some off-speed potential. They picked him up late just recently.
Hmm.
From I want to say either Nicaragua. I want to say it was either Nicaragua or Venezuela. So I'm not 100% positive on that, but he's a kid that they picked up there as well. Um, he
Right-handed, left-handed.
right-handed pitcher,
Okay.
Jose Vargas. So he's gonna be another kid that's in the class there. And then the big one, big pitching signing that they're gonna have is a kid named Kevin DeFrank.
Mm.
Um, he's 6'4" right now. He's touching 96 miles an hour at this moment. So that's your 100 or your six-figure signing that you're asking about right there.
I
So
think
he's
I
gonna
think
be a kid.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think I asked you about him because he just started following me, and every time I get like one of these IFAs that finds me, I immediately hit you up like, "Yo, who is this guy?"
Yeah, it's Kevin DeFrank, man. He is as elite as they come. I remember when I saw
Hmm.
him sign with us, when I heard about it, I was like, yo, dude, you don't even know. I messaged him. I was like, you don't even know how excited I am. Like, you don't even know me, but like, I'm so excited, man. Like, this kid has potential to be like that Lalane, one of those kids that you look up to, and
Hmm.
you're like, okay, he's a top 15 prospect in the Yankee system.
Hmm.
Could be a top 100. That's the kind of arm that you're talking about there. Um, I know we have another kid too. I gotta find him. His name is here it is. So Eliezer Adames. So he was a kid that when he was younger, he was ranked around 10 in the entire class. Yankee you could watch a video on him. It's Eliezer Adames. So he used to play shortstop. Kid had a deal, I think, with the Cardinals. His throwing motion was terrible. So I think that they kind of were like, we don't want to sign you for this $6 or $7 million deal. Um, Yankees went and saw him. They still love the bat. So they moved him to center field. So now going forward, he's going to be playing center field. He's another kid that's a big time kid to keep your eye out on for. Um, I think he's going to be in the six-figure signing too. But he's a kid that might even crack some top 50 lists.
Okay.
So, and that's our nine.
I think
Now,
we're missing one. Wait, we're missing one.
Are we missing one?
Yeah, Castillo,
Give me
Roman,
give me one
Cedeno,
sec.
Cordero, Martinez, Vargas, DeFrank, Adames. You're missing one.
Missing one. Give me 1 minute here. Let me find out who I'm missing here. Uh, am I missing somebody? Give me 1 second. We send a list. I think I sent it to you.
No, I didn't get that list, but it's you have Ruben Castillo, Steven Roman, Manny Cedeno, Braylon Cordero, Emil Martinez, Jose Vargas, Kevin DeFrank, Eliza Adames. That's 8.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. Yeah, so all right, so oh, and then the last one, yeah, you're right. Edison Charles was a late signing, so we just picked up a kid named Edison Charles. He's a center fielder. He's 6'3", and I feel like the Yankees, go for like these kind of kids. So like Angel Marte.
The
He's a
wiry
quicker,
frame.
yeah, wiry frame, loud bat.
Hmm.
Um, you know, that's the kid that they just picked up with Edison Charles. He was a late signing here too as well.
Hmm.
Um, he's been I actually got to watch some tape on him. I can see where the Yankees like the loud thump. I think they're gonna have to work with his swing to get him to where they see him being. But for him to come over and them to get him as well, I'm pretty shocked because I know that there were a couple other teams that were interested in him. So I think that they probably gave him a decent amount as well to get him probably around the $100,000 range to probably get him over to New York as well because they see the potential in him as a center fielder.
Now, I have
So
a question real
Yep.
quick. We made a trade a couple of weeks ago for JT Brubaker and 550K in international money. Um, do we have any idea who that money was for?
It's gonna be somebody this year. I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no
well, they have
idea.
to use the money this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah.
this year, 100%. Like you can't trade for future
Well,
classes outfield.
it could end up being like what they did with Justin Capellan, where they signed him just before the IFA signing period opened. It was like a day or two beforehand. It could be one of those type of things that ends up happening. A kid that should have went in what next year's class. Maybe he hit the age bracket or the age limit, and maybe they signed him right beforehand.
Yeah, I mean that is possible. I do think they're gonna still try to throw their money in the hat of Sasaki, who I think does end up with the Dodgers as well.
Mhm.
But you still
And
think there's a chance with Suzuki?
I mean they're gonna still throw their 2 cents in there, man. I don't think you ever let a kid that generational, regardless, not even talk to anybody
I mean,
else.
the worst that can happen is he says no.
Is no. Yeah. So at the end of the day, man, I don't think I'm not saying there's a chance because I do think that he like I told you before in the class and when the Yankees were talking with Yamamoto, I said whoever gets Yamamoto most likely gets Sasaki. And
Right.
that's what I was telling you about from what I was told. And at the end of the day, so far we didn't get Yamamoto. I'm assuming we're not getting Sasaki. And everybody else I've talked to is a high potential that this kid still does go to the Dodgers. So,
Yeah, I think
you
Bob
know,
Nightingale said the same thing a couple days ago. I think he retweeted that.
He did. And any idea? The Dodgers, this is one of their first classes. They didn't get a top 10 kid. I think they had
Top
one.
10, they didn't get a top 50.
Right. So
They
are
pretty
they,
much, yeah, they didn't get any top 50s. And in this class, they're at the bottom in the IFA pool.
they
okay.
they know what they're doing. To be honest with you, man, like I said, I think it's gonna be that money's going for Sasaki, man. You're gonna see it. It is what it is. They're a great organization, man. They had that West Coast team. They were winning, you know what I'm saying? Like the Yankees really weren't winning for a while. And you talk to a lot of kids, man. Growing up, everybody's favorite player was Derek Jeter or Alex Rodriguez, who had him, the Yankees. Now everybody you look up and you say, who's your favorite player, man? A lot of people are going to say, I like Fernando
Tatis.
Tatis. I like Francisco Lindor. I like, Juan Soto. It depends. Ronald Acuna. That's another one. A lot
Mhm.
of people aren't going and saying, yeah, like we have a Derek Jeter. We don't have that kind of player anymore. So, like, Aaron Judge, man, as much as I love Aaron Judge, man, I question the foot injury. I mean, I know I said that to you guys the other day, man. Like I feel like, even if he figures it out and he hits 30 home runs, I question if he'll ever be that guy that hits 50 plus again. Especially with that and they're trotting him in center field. There are going to be positions that open up, man. You're going to start seeing, I feel like, a lot of positions that open up for the Yankees, and it's just going to be because people are older.
Okay.
Yeah, and
But
for those that don't know, the Yankees are pretty much in the third bracket for IFA pool money. I think they're up to what, 6.3 million?
Yeah.
which is a good amount, and you can still trade
Yeah.
for money. So, I mean, there are kids that they may, go in. I
Yeah,
know that the
there's some kids that
Yankees,
can make a run for.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
I know
6'3" doesn't count that 500K that they got from the Pirates.
No, it doesn't. No.
no, it doesn't. Correct. But I know that the Yankees love the kid Cris Rodriguez. You know what I'm saying? Like the kid that's going to the Tigers. You know, that's a thing. You know, if anything ever falls through, you know, that kid jumps off. I know that the Yankees were huge on him. He just decided he got more money from the Tigers. They made an offer. You
Yeah,
know, they just
we've seen that before.
Yeah,
yeah.
we
I mean, it
have.
happens. The Yankees lose players all the time, and we lost players last year because of
Hmm.
signing Rodon. Like we lost. I think a lot of people don't realize. Like we lost Daviel De Los Santos. We lost Steven
Martinez
Martinez. We lost Abidel Feliz. You know, we lost Leon Di Mella. We lost a lot of kids that, you know, signed
and,
for
and
300 plus.
and going back a class or two, you lost Sam Basallo.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
Samuel Basallo. Yeah, that was a kid that I know hurt, man. They chose Hans Montero over him, man, and it was over $300,000. I would have tried to talk to Hans Montero to tell him to take a little bit less, but you know, at the end of the day, man, I mean, you have these, you know, situations where you make a deal with a trainer kind of thing, man, and you kind of have to honor it, you know, because if you don't want to lose that, especially when the Yankees have certain academies that are higher working with them than others, you know. So
Hmm.
I mean, we've lost kids. I can go back to that 2014 class. We lost that kid Chris Torres because the Yankees had that deal fall out. I mean, you know, we lost Diego Benitez and Jesus Galez on certain things. So I mean, you sign players, man. You're gonna lose certain kids too. You know, I mean,
Hmm.
so when you get like that's why I question like when you hear all these people say, "Well, let's sign this kid," you know, let's sign Blake Snell. Well, you know, Scott Boras even came out and said he doesn't even have to be a Cy Young Award winner. So where's your head at? You know, like we're gonna throw away kids when they're his agent's saying, "Hey, he's got to show he could throw 180 innings, even if it's at a 5 ERA. It doesn't matter." But you know that's what you know I don't want. I don't want us to throw away an opportunity to continue to grow our organization in the right direction. And I feel like the Yankees, like I said, we're at a place where the next I'll just tell you, man, the next three classes you're walking away with a kid and Ruben Castillo, Wandy Asijan, who's number one, and then at number two and Marion De La Rosa. So, you know, you're walking away with three kids that are top three in their class. You know, I mean, I have and my rankings, I have you know, Ruben three, Wandy one, and then I have Marion two behind Alfredo Center right now.
Let me ask you a
But
question. Jason Orton, what class is he in?
he's in Wandy's class.
And where do you rank him at?
I have him 10, 11. Depends on
And
who you talk
he's
to.
a shortstop as well.
And he's a shortstop, man. He's a left-handed shortstop.
And I
I'm a
think they play
big
on the same
fan.
team, no?
Who?
Didn't they play on the same U15 team?
He's net who Yesin didn't make the
Yeah.
team. But
Okay.
yeah, he didn't make the team, man. I know the Yankees were upset, man, because they love Marion De La Rosa. They thought he should have made the team. So, you know, the Yankees wanted Marion. They said there were a lot of shortstops that they felt like should have made the team over a couple other players, man, and they felt like Marion should have been on that team. I've heard huge reviews by Marion De La Rosa as
Mhm.
well. And then obviously everybody knows about, I mean, I don't know if people know, but the 2028 kid is, in my opinion, the number one kid in the entire IFA world right now. You
Over the
know,
Yeah.
next three
for
years?
Dominican. What?
Over the next 3 years?
Period. I just got him in the entire world right now, man. I think he's a little bit over Senna. I have him like a little bit over. You know, yeah, things can obviously change down the road, but right now I would have him a little bit over Senna,
I
and he
mean,
was just a little.
he's already a huge kid.
He's a
Yeah, he's a
monster.
monster.
Hmm.
And
And is he switch hit or just left-handed?
Now he's
switch.
switched, and he puts it out
I've
either
only seen him
side,
from the
man.
left hand. I've only seen him from the left side.
I showed Dane a thing of him on the right side, man, and he would just truck the ball, man,
He did.
off of one of the best pitchers in the class. like,
Just
he,
nuked it.
Yo,
like he,
I love the way he stands and admires his works after he puts a charge into one.
yeah, he's elite, man. He's an elite kid, man. I'm excited. He's the kid that I'm most excited about because I've never seen a kid that young outside of maybe Dominguez that had that kind of hype coming in, like where it was just like everybody's like, yo, please don't say nothing because the kid is so good. Like, you know, this kid
So
is
do the
he's
Yankees have
excited.
him? Do the Yankees have him under lock and key?
He's he's
24/7
he's
handlers?
he's locked, man. He's locked in there. He's locked up. The same thing with Wandy, man. You don't really see Wandy out there either like that. I'll be honest with you.
Mhm.
You know, you don't really see Wandy out there. They got another kid in that class too that's signing with them from Venezuela. He's a catcher who used to play shortstop. I love his swing. His name is Jose Colina. He's going in 26 too as well. but
Mm.
he's another kid that he's elite too, man. They have some good kids coming in, man. They really do. Um, and it's exciting, man. You guys should start getting excited for the next couple upcoming classes. And I think starting with 2025, my top three kids in that class would 100% be obviously Ruben. I'm gonna go Manny and then Kevin DeFrank. I think Kevin DeFrank, man, is as good as they come, man. As you guys could watch videotape of him, but you just don't find
Mm.
6'4", 96 mile an hours that
No,
every day like that.
that
No.
sounds like Luis Medina a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's not wild. That's
He's
the
Good
thing.
command.
not.
He's not wild. Nah, he's got a decent control, man. He's a good pitcher. So he's a kid that I can see the Yankees moving him up to, man, pretty fast. As long, well, actually, I don't know, because they didn't even move Lilani. But
Well, the line isn't extended, so I mean, I don't think expect him to be there long.
yeah, he should have been at A ball though. I feel like he should have started with that team, man.
I
He
do
was
too.
good, you know. But he's a kid. Like I said, Kevin DeFrank, I see him being up there with like the Jerson Alejandro kids, like the kids that people will say watch out for. He's gonna be that kid
Grande.
that yeah, but he's gonna be the kid when you see like Baseball America put out like who's the sleeper kids for the class, you're gonna see Kevin DeFrank. Like that's the kid
Okay.
your guys are gonna look at and people are gonna be like, oh, who's that? And we can refer him back to this video that we talked about in first year. Kevin DeFrank. Know the name. Like super duper kid. And he's super nice too, man. Really great person.
Mhm.
So, just going into something a little bit different, what did you think of the first week of minor league baseball? Did you see the affiliates? What did you think of the guys?
Caleb Durbin, man. What is going on with that guy? That guy is unreal, man, right now. He's on like a super tear. Um, Jared Serna hitting 2 home runs when we couldn't even touch the fence last year in high A ball.
Hit the
So,
weights.
yeah, that's exciting. I think you had a couple of pitchers that popped up, that really showed off this year. And
Tristan Vreeling.
yeah, man. I think the thing that and I know we've talked about it too, the thing that really showed me the most, I feel like, for the Yankees was Roderick and Lombard making the same team, and who started at shortstop, and it was Roderick. And I think that is something that tells me everything you need to know is where they expect that kid to play.
He's playing second base tonight.
Yeah, well, they're flipping him back and forth, but they started him at short. But he's a kid, man. He's a kid. I'm a big fan, man. I've
They ain't
always loved
starting
Roderick,
shit.
man.
I am.
Don't
Nah,
pay him
I
any
always
mind.
loved him. But Brando's another kid, man. I'm excited about Brando Maeda too,
Mm.
man. I like I said, I'm almost positive he ends up in the FCL. But
He has to. I spoke to him yesterday though. He said he's still not there. I know a couple of DSL kids are already in Tampa, like Josue Gonzalez, Gabriel Terrero, Hansel Rodriguez, even Elian Perez, a couple other guys. I think Terrero told me all in all 11 guys came over. But no Mae yet. He told me it might happen in the next day or so, but nothing yet.
yeah, and I would be shocked if Laura didn't make it either, man. Both of those
I
dudes
spoke to
deserve it.
Lara, and Lara said he wasn't coming over as not anytime soon. That's what he told me.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to him. I want to say yesterday, and
Hmm.
he kind of said like, I haven't heard really anything, man, but I believe in God. Whatever God
Of
wants
course,
me
they
to
all
do
say
is
that.
where I'm
Yeah,
gonna go. That's what he
they're all
tells me,
very
man.
religious.
Like,
They're all very religious.
but at the end of the day, man, I think that I would be shocked. You don't bring a kid up for 4.35 million, and then he kind of has a solid year in DSL, and you leave him there. I just don't see it.
Agreed.
Agreed.
That's just too
Yeah.
much money, man. It's just too much money
Hmm.
for them to play around. So, but you know, like I said, man, and it's just gonna be exciting going forward, man. I think there's Villario is a kid. I've heard he's been killing it down there. Dexter's Peralta, has looked really good from my
Hmm.
understanding. He's looked like the best one down there from what I've been told. Um, and you got to give Chacon a lot of credit, man, and Ibn Chacon because that's the academy he came from, and they got Yankees are bringing in a lot of kids from that academy coming up in the next couple of years, and it's showing that they know how to definitely bring in talent. So I give them a lot of credit, man, for what they found and where they found certain kids.
Baseball America
Hmm.
keeps saying that they do the best job in international free agency of any team since 2020.
They've been way better. I mean, I remember I remember when we sucked. Like, to be honest with you, man. I mean, I'll be blunt and honest. I remember when we got a kid named Leonardo Molina,
Oh my God, I
and
remember him.
the kid
Yeah.
couldn't even hit a watermelon if
Hmm.
you walked it to him. I mean, and he had, and it's, everything I was told, he had every tool in the book. He could do it all. He was top 5 IFA kid. And
Yeah.
he couldn't do anything. Then you had the next class. That class really was nothing outside of Floreal, and he's looked like
Yeah,
nothing
I mean,
in the majors.
there's also seemed like there's been a philosophy change within the IFA front as well. I don't know who's running that division now. Think I want to say David Adams, but maybe he's a domestic director.
Nah,
I'm
it's
not sure. I'm
rolling.
not sure. It's
Donnie
rolling. Okay.
Roland.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
Roland's been running it for forever, man. At the end of the day, I think what happened is the Yankees started. I think more stuff came out for them to understand. Because I feel like they started looking at exit velocities and stuff like
Hmm.
that recently, where that wasn't back there when you had Gary Sanchez and stuff.
Yeah.
And you were signing kids like that. I think now they're looking at a player that they can develop, whether it's, I see the contact or I see the leanness on a kid that can hit 20, 30 home runs in a season, like Kevin Alcantara, or
Yeah.
um, that kind of talent. And they don't care, man. Most of their stuff is in the Dominican Republic, where the Mets are really in Venezuela, man. They're like all over Venezuelan market. And mind you, I feel bad for the Mets, man. They just lost another kid. Um,
The
so
Baptiste
long,
kid.
yeah. I'll tell you a quick story about this story, man. So they had a kid in the DSL. His name is Anthony Baptiste. He was a top 50 kid internationally. Um, from 2023, played a whole year there. He was raised by his grandma. Mom came over, said, "Hey, never really had anything to do with her kid." She said, "Hey, if you don't buy me a house, I'm gonna rat you out to the Mets." Turned around, rat him out, said, "Hey, this kid here is not 17, 18 years old. He's really 20." And next
Did
thing
he
you
know
know,
that?
he's
Did he
what?
know that? Did he know that?
I don't know.
Mm.
I have no idea, to be honest with you, but he's going to be suspended for a whole year. And now who knows if they're going to have to give back the money or what happens.
I'm pretty
That's
sure.
life changing money for those kids, though,
Yep.
like, at the end of the day, that's $1 million that a kid that was just raised by his grandma had nothing going forward for him, man, played baseball, and all down the pooper because of people you surround yourself with, and that's your mom. You can't really choose who surround
Damn
yourself
shame.
with your mom. So,
It's a
but
shame.
yeah, he's a kid, man. The Mets are losing a lot.
All right. Let's get your final thoughts on the class and then we'll let everybody get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, same thing I kind of touched up, man. I think that this is a probably one of my favorite classes the Yankees have had in the last couple of years. Um, because I feel like it's not just one kid and that's really it. I think you have a couple of sleepers in this class. Whereas I felt like, with the Yankees with Roderick, you signed your big kid and then you had like a John Cruz that popped, but everybody else was kind of Brando Maea, you maybe had one sleeper in that class and it was but like this class here, I think you look at it, you have a Manny, you have a Steven Romans, you have a Kevin DeFrank. You have a couple of kids that you look at and you're like, okay, wow, Edison Charles, if they can actually revamp him to what he is, I think you have a bunch of kids in this class that have an ability to pop and be something that can make this class very elite.
Outstanding. Los, you got anything else?
No, man, I'm just ready to see this class. Ready for the season to begin on the DSL, and definitely looking forward to some of these classes. I know I've been watching video of Wandy. I know he played in the U15. He looked really good. So it's just an exciting time, man, especially for IFAs and the Yankees front. Um, it's just an
These
exciting
next
time.
4 classes are silly with what we've
Hmm.
got coming.
Yeah.
It's exciting. All right, guys, we're going to let you get out of here. Smack the like and subscribe on your way out. Thank you so
All right, guys.
much.
Thanks, Nick. See you guys.
Nick, thank you.